Welcome into another episode of Views from the Bridge, your second favorite podcast about your favorite team, the Philadelphia Union. Chuck, Evan, how are we doing tonight?
That's a loaded question. Soccer wise, it would have been really bad if we lost on Saturday, but we didn't. We'll talk about it. Yeah,
but we didn't.
Yeah, I've been
Chuck,
I've been spending the last few hours remembering some guys in the EFL
Ooh.
for doing season preview work, and then now have to track not just Messi but Rodrigo de Paul. So fun times.
Hey, good news! They're on the same team. Somehow.
I mean, basically always have been.
yeah, fair. Yeah. Is Chuck, in your expert opinion, is Rodrigo de Paul going to be the next Blaise Matuidi of MLS signings?
No, I like real talk. I think that he's actually going to be the best midfielder to come through, like true midfielder to come through MLS. And also, Miami didn't have to openly commit fraud to sign him because the league just let them.
Do you think that was the trade-off for Messi and Alba getting suspended for the All-Star game?
that would actually be amazing.
They were like, suspend them for Cincinnati if we can have Rodrigo de Paul, and they're like, we guess that's the same, and now we're here. Anyway, that's for our different podcast where we talk about DP signings in Major League Soccer we're launching in the fall. No, we're not. Justin, a game was had.
I was gonna say, good luck with that one, Evan. You can have that one. You can have that podcast.
I'm so great. Thank you so much. We're gonna do a Freddie Adu style David Beckham tell-all because no one's ever done that before.
All right. Well,
I'll workshop names with you guys later.
The Union do still play soccer, and they finally figured out how to in the second half of this game against Colorado, and ended up winning the game 3-1, in which they went into halftime down 1-0 through a I don't even know how to describe Navarro's goal. It just, it's one of those you have to see to believe, but it hits the bar, bounces right back to Navarro. He puts it in past Glesnes, and Andre Blake was nowhere to be seen because he made a decent save on the first one.
I mean, it's the exact definition of playing Colorado.
That's how they get goals.
We summed this up like pretty well in the preview, that just whatever you know about soccer, just throw it out the window while playing the Rapids. Like that first half, my God, I still can't believe that the Union didn't get a goal during all of that. But and even with them scoring the 3 goals, they still underperformed their XG because they had an XG of 4 for the entire game.
Yeah. No, it was. It's funny for us recording this Wednesday night because our friends at Holding the High Line, one of the longest running MLS podcasts that's still actively going, Matt and Rabbi do a wonderful job, and it's great because they're the two perfect people to talk about a team that's been kind of floundering for a while. But they said that the Rapids haven't beaten the Union since I think it was 2014. We absolutely own the team. It's incredible. But I bewildered at how we didn't get a goal in the first half. Colorado with a bit of a smash and grab, and then Cole Bassett for the Rapids postgame said he was tired of the team forgetting how to play in the second half or something to that extent. And from a Philly slanted point of view, we've been waiting for Mikel Uhre to have a game like this for a while now. And here it is.
Yeah. Kind of going back to the beginning of the game, I think lineup was a little bit interesting. Most of it out of necessity, I was gonna say most of it out of necessity. Westfield and Harriel both suspended. You have to slot in Bizo, and then you basically have your starting midfield and starting front line But I think, I think the team, yeah, it wasn't. You don't go into that half feeling like, oh man, this team sucks. Like it's like no, the Union actually played fairly well. It was just they did everything but put the ball in the back of the net.
Specifically, Stanley Jane Jock, especially, did everything except
Yes.
put the ball in the back of the net.
Oh god.
Yeah, I mean, this would have sucked to lose,
Yep.
but
Didn't.
easy to, and like also like for the most part, the defense did their job. They only allowed one actual shot on goal. It just happened to be the goal that then we had to sit with through halftime until Ty Baribo was just like, okay, let's actually score something.
Do you think if you're Bradley Carnell at half, and that's the way you conceded a goal to go down at the break, or you just kind of go in the locker room and you're like, well, that was fun. What a way to concede, and then you like we'll go get him in the second half. And then you come out and it's like, yes, this is better, or like because it's such a fluky goal to give up when you're doing basically everything else right. Like there's logistically you're 2 touches and a couple of inches away from winning this game 5-1 easy on the trot. So it's just funny to me that it's like, okay, yes, you conceded one of those dumb what if goals. How do you be like, okay, we need to not be down in this game, but also like, what was anyone supposed to do with that? Like, it's just such a like, okay, well, shit happens.
Yeah, no, it is a funny one on how those actually like end up coming up at halftime, because like you almost want to say keep doing what you're doing, because just with the law of averages and all that, eventually the ball has to go in the back of the net. But also, like, we've seen enough times with this team where it doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's hard to just like believe that those things are going to happen.
Yeah, and especially with a guy like Uhre, who has not had a game like this in a while, that we've kind of said all season, like, you need to have that type of game. He finally kind of has that game, but had he not had that game, it might be 1-1 and we're looking at a pretty disappointing draw.
It's really fun having him come off the bench. Just because that was a perfectly timed moment for him to just enter, run like hell at Colorado's back line, have a couple of finishes that, like, I know we've seen him have finishes like that, but it is like easy to
those
forget
are pretty...
what he does have in his bag when he's like just having a moment out there. And those literally are the kind of things from him that are a difference between this, just being a team that makes the playoffs and being a team that actually gets out of the first round and tries to go on a run. Like, you really need those performances, and as long as they keep happening, good on him. Just better from the bench.
Yeah, that the first goal for me was like that was like not, I can't say it's vintage Uhre because it's not, but he got this kind of like touch out and created just like a step of separation between him and the defender, and then he found the like 18 inches that he needed to slide it past the keeper and put it in the back of the net. And it was a pretty impressive goal, especially the fact that it came off his left foot. That was just really, really nice. The second goal was like, oh, that's vintage Uhre. That's where Uhre is at his best, when he gets running with the defender at the keeper. It's like the defender's not getting the ball, and it just depends whether Uhre is able to put it in the net, and he did.
Yeah, and I mean, he's one of those guys that just, like, the less that he's thinking about what he has to do on a finish, the better that he is. And that's where, like, coming into a game of that pace is excellent, because it's just get ball, run, shoot. That's it. Don't worry about anything else.
It's funny because
Dami playing the Rapids.
Well, it helps playing the Rapids, and it also helps having Damiani just like break people down for an hour and change. And he always gets his looks. They don't really go in. But then you have a guy like Uhre where it's okay. First finish, I don't need to talk about it for 30 seconds because go watch it. But I haven't. I was when Justin was breaking it down, I was trying to think of like when have I seen a Union player curl a ball like that, and it's been a while. And then his second finish, and I mean, listen, all the blame to Zach Steffen. You can't get beat like that if you want to be anywhere close to the men's national team goalkeeper pool, whatever. But Uhre he barrels down on goalkeepers and then has this weird way of just looking at him and going, "You're going to make a move first, and then I'm going to put it where you're not." And he did. And that's all you really need sometimes is just the guy who's an instinctual finisher. Darren Espria, maybe, vibes from Michael Uhre there, just to kind of come on and go, no, I'll get a goal. And then, yeah, just a comprehensive win from everybody else. And now we get a little bit of a break while everyone else plays in a tournament that doesn't really matter. Until we're in it next year, I guess, at the rate we're going.
We're going to have to if we keep this up, keep what we're doing up. Can we talk about Kai Wagner's assist in this game?
So good. So good.
Can you play it any better?
You guys talked about it last week. No.
And then, secondly, if you're Colorado, you don't close down Wagner?
No, they don't. They don't. Again, they don't do anything that a soccer team is supposed to do.
Yeah, actually, no. It was actually it was really funny. I guess in the post game, I don't remember who it was. I'm so sorry. I should have looked it up because I would love to give credit to people who ask good questions. But someone asked Carnell, like they were like, "Hey, it looked like you guys were taking a little bit more time, and especially Vasilev taking kind of an extra touch before you really made a move." And Carnell basically was like, "Well, yeah, because Colorado doesn't step to anybody. Like that's their whole defensive MO is just keep dropping back." So to your point, Justin, yeah, if you're going to close anybody down, you close Wagner down, but also Colorado doesn't close anything.
Well, what was interesting watching back the replay on that goal specifically is there's two Colorado players out there, and you could see the guy that's further from the ball sort of point to Wagner's foot, and I assume he's telling the person in front of him, like, close that down.
You would hope. Yeah.
And both of them went to Vasilev, and so they're both covering Vasilev, and then Wagner puts in this, like, gorgeous ball right to Bariba's foot. It's like, Vasilev's not the person you need to cover in this scenario.
You need to worry about.
No.
Not even out of the entire lineup, Chuck. Just out of those two people, who is more likely to hit a ball, it's definitely, it's not Indiana Vasilev. And you know what? But since to his credit, again against Colorado, looked very good. I think he's figured something out. I think he's figured out he's had a little bit more time than he's thought he's had this season so far, and he's been better. He is not Kai Wagner. So, again, if I'm paying attention to anybody defensively, it's one of the best assist producers in the entire league, not, the glue guy that the coach brought over because they were friends in St. Louis. Different vibes.
Different vibes.
Different vibes.
I have a question. Is Chris Donovan finally number 5?
Well, so he's number 4 again because we loaned somebody to San Diego, but yeah.
You don't think Sal Olivas has taken Chris Donovan's spot?
Ooh.
Yeah, unless there is an injury we don't know about, he was not again used. And
what if there's somebody else coming up?
I mean, Raffanella's still coming into games.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, what if there's somebody else coming up to replace Jeremy Raffanella?
I'd be all for it.
Malik Jakupovic is unconscious for the second team right now. He's incapable of not scoring. And I know he is a baby, and he doesn't look like it, because he's a big old 16-year-old. But again, I made the Zen on Kadic bit about a Bosnian that can, do some work for the first team, but goodness me, that's been going really well. And I think he's actually a guy that can play the system a little bit better because he is bigger than Vasquez and has that battering ram sort of mentality. So if you want to throw somebody in there just to get him minutes next to Damiani or Baribo, that could be your guy.
That being said, I have, over the last 3 weeks or whatever it's been, I've really enjoyed watching Olivas. He's an interesting player. Like, he's just different than the other three guys, but he seems to find the ball at his feet in the box more than Chris Donovan does.
To say it all, but I get what you mean. No, I think to your point though, Justin, like his spatial awareness is already like he reads the game so well. And I don't even want to compare it to anybody else because that's not doing anyone any favors, but like his anticipation and just knowing where these guys that he hasn't really played with, by the way, are going to like put the ball to him is really nice to see out of one of our younger forwards because we're not used to that necessarily.
Mm-mm.
And it's not even like he's on there at that point with like Frankie and who else, Cavan, and like I guess Raph. Like it's not like it's all the kids are in. Of course he's going to have better link up play with them. It's like no, that's like kind of the first team midfield and you're where you need to be to get service, and that's you can be as good as you want. Like Rafael Navajo, I think is a great MLS striker. He doesn't get service.
Mm-hmm.
That's half the battle right there. So yeah, Sal Olivas is probably due here for more minutes the back end of the season, but for sure next year that's a guy you have kind of coming off the bench at some point in a bigger role.
I mean, if it doesn't include Chris Donovan,
yeah,
I'm okay with it.
Absolutely.
It's it's nice that we didn't spend any money on that, right? Someone's gonna fucking tweet us now and be like, "No, they paid $250,000 for him." I'm gonna cry, but like, it's nice that he was just kind of like ours, and it's just sort of like, well, we'll eat it, whatever. And yeah,
Donovan at least has had his moments with the team.
Please go on.
Now with where you are, he cannot be coming off the bench in meaningful soccer games. So it's just great that that's hopefully no longer happening.
And I guess the bad news for him is that there's no more non-meaningful soccer games.
Yeah, I mean,
all of these sort of matter.
10 games left now.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Are trying to. Did they close the weekend out at the top of the East?
Yes.
So
top of the supporters field, you're kind of pushing the supporters field.
Yeah, that. God.
I know.
I don't even want to get into that conversation yet.
All right.
Just it would be nuts.
No. We're still 5 games away from having that conversation.
No, I
unfortunately. But we'll have that conversation when it comes around. I mean, I'm excited to have that conversation, but they still need to be there 5 games from now, and
and it's
conversation to have.
It's the scheduling bit.
It is a fun diversion from will they fall out of the top 4 to couple of results went our way.
Right. Yeah.
True story.
The East really is just that tight though, because you're only 8 points up on 5th.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't feel like we need to spend people's valuable time talking about it, but any hopes for this weekend against Frankfurt?
Clean bill of health.
I mean, the most important thing about this is just seeing Paxton Aaronson. Anything else does not matter.
Yeah, again, are they going to do like contract negotiations during halftime? Are they going to bring a table out and Ernst Tanner's going to be like, all right, let's go. And then they agree to terms. And then It's what's his name for the Blue Jays Orioles thing where he switches teams before the second game of the doubleheader.
I mean, we
Oh
talked about that last
God.
week, but that's kind of what I'm hoping. You can just leave Paxton in Philly for I'll take a 6-month loan. We'll send him back in January, but
That's
just
fine.
give him to for like the next 5 months.
Can we?
Yeah,
Did we think about a
I'm
player
also
swap?
mad about that.
You're also mad about what?
Well,
Yeah, finish that.
so that I'm still stuck on the Soto thing. I mean, not Soto, Dominguez,
Oh, sure.
because
Yeah.
because I'm an Orioles fan.
Right. Right.
So I had to deal with him like coming in today to shut down the Orioles in a comeback. But I don't want to talk player swaps because the player that they would want is, of course, the
Chris
one
Donovan.
that that would just be fucking hilarious.
They don't know. They have no idea.
Yeah, you leave Paxton Aaronson, we give you Chris Donovan. Everyone's
He's tall.
happy, right?
He looks German enough, I guess. It's fine.
But no, just that we even need to deal with more Kai Wagner rumors.
Sure. Yeah.
Because allegedly,
It's that time of year.
are now the team that won it, and yet it's just really annoying. And like, I get it. This is gonna be the case like as long as he's like performing at this level, but it's quite annoying that every single transfer window is insert big team here is interested in Kai Wagner. Insert team here. Well, I mean, luckily Lille's not a big team, and I actually think that the Union could probably pay him more than they could. Considering their finances.
Yeah.
But like, again, just annoying. And I would fear that if you even tried to talk player swaps with Frankfurt, that they'd be like, we want that guy. And the Union would have to be like, that derails our season.
Yeah. Can we have him back for 6 months? Yeah.
Wagner is an interesting one to me in this transfer, like, because there's not anybody who can necessarily doubt that Wagner's left foot, and I think after that clearing, after the assist, Higginbotham was like, Kai Wagner's left foot is one of the best in MLS, and I'm like, one of? But I think it's interesting, like, yeah, I mean, the assists are there for sure, all that kind of stuff. But there has been some times this season where in Colorado for the first 35 minutes of the game, had him pinned, and he's not that good of a defender. So, and he's not that fast. So fast players can get behind him fairly easily.
Okay, listen, Justin, you can't. I'm trying to do so much work right now, getting a deep fake of Thomas Muller saying that Chris Donovan is his favorite player in North America. You can't throw Kai Wagner actually being bad at defense on my plate to try to work that into something so he doesn't leave. Okay, I can only do so many things at one time. So right now I'm focusing on getting Chris Donovan out of here by virtue of Thomas Muller gaslighting Frankfurt into thinking that Chris Donovan is the next Thomas Muller, so that we keep Paxton Aaronson. And we get Brendan back too while we're thinking about it. And then we basically have like the Kings of Leon, or like the National of MLS, where it's just a bunch of brothers and some random people. And then we win MLS Cup and the Supporter Shield. And then we don't have to think about Chris Donovan again. And then Kai gets to leave at the next transfer window.
Bro,
we got it.
My head almost exploded trying to follow that.
And that's fine. That's probably part of the point. So it's working.
You need a new hobby.
No, I'm all right. Well, there's no rebuttal there. That's fine. That's fine. Is that how we end the... Okay.
No, the fact, Evan,
this is
the
how
fact
Views from the Bridge fell apart.
Yeah. I get told that I need to pick a different hobby, actually, by someone I've been talking to about said hobby for, I don't know, a decade. It's fine. It's fine.
No, listen.
My monthly noose being slipped around my neck by Justin has arrived.
No. In all seriousness, in all positivity, the fact that the some of the stuff that you can come up with in 30 seconds and
Yeah,
throw a couple cultural references, and like, the fact that you can do that has always impressed me.
thank you. It's called attention deficit disorder. Everybody that's Chuck and I's age has it. It just manifests differently for people. And this is the one I'm stuck with. But yeah, no, to take a compliment, thank you. That's very sweet of you.
I
That's
have it too, but it manifests very differently for me. So
yeah. Some people clean. I rattle off about bands and siblings and contract signings. It's fine. Could be doing so much better. Yeah, no, clean bill of health for the friendly. I again, the score, whatever. Play a bunch of the children. I don't know, but like, I mean, you would hope in the same way that like the All Star Game is a dog and pony show, where like no one is going to go in on a challenge on anybody. You would hope that it's sort of an agreed upon, like just don't, whatever, like score 30 goals, no one cares. Just be polite. Everyone gets through it. No one on the other side of that needs an injury where they are in their seasons. So just keep it as a nice little training exercise open to the public and call it a
yeah.
At least like having like while I mean I'm still not happy with MLS scheduling in the slightest.
well, no, you shouldn't.
Having an actual having an actual break for a second will be good for this team.
Yeah.
We'll probably be back next week. I think next week would be good if we talk about just the season in review before we get too focused on the last 10 games and what they could mean. It might be good to look back and think about what the season that has been so far. And then the Union play Toronto, and then do the back-to-back Wednesday, Saturday against the Red Bulls.
Oh, the makeup, yeah.
So it seems like there could be some exciting things happening for
We're in an
for
Open
this
Cup
team over the next couple
semifinal.
weeks. Yeah, we are.
That got buried.
What a time!
Oh,
What a time.
what a time.
Plus, we had a fairly easy road to get there. Playing the last remaining USL Championship team.
Yeah. And now we play Red Bull, who if you have defense, it's okay.
Yeah, we just need a repeat of the league game.
Yep. Twice, 2 times. Anything else? Anything else before we get out of here?
When do we get Cavan?
Who knows? I don't know.
I mean, he's gonna. I guess he's gonna keep scoring for Manchester City's U21. So who cares?
It's so weird because like there's really nothing out.
No.
Yeah.
Which is fine, actually. I'm okay with that. I'd be a hypocrite if I was like banging the door down to try to get information.
And in all seriousness, like, do we need him?
It's a nice to have.
Well, I mean, yes, we just don't want to. Well, okay. Do we need him right now? No. Do we want him to just like disappear into the dark with City right now? Also, no.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have him back in September when we're making a playoff run and all of that, because I do think he gives more than Raffanello. But I think it's like these games in the middle of, do we need him? Does Raffanello do a good enough job? Sure. Like,
well, I just wish like
a date would have been
Kevin was as big as that he was as big as Raffanello is, just because literally someone Raffanello's size doing the things that Kevin does equals a really good soccer player.
And I will say it would be nice to have both midfielders that can actually create from basically nothing on our team at the same time. It is a little weird that they're siblings, but those are the two guys that can do that. And it would be nice to not just have one guy that can create out of nothing and have a second guy that can create out of nothing and use them either, I don't know, at the same time or at different times. Because right now it's very much like if you can just kind of like isolate Quinn Sullivan so he can't do stuff, it's a little bit harder for us to break you down. So Yeah, not a need, but a very strong want, please, for Kevin Sullivan to come.
If I had a little bit of a, this is one of those things that it's hard to um, figure out how to have this conversation at the time where we're doing pretty well and we're almost in first place, like we're in first place and all that kind of stuff. It would be interesting to try a 4-3-3 with Bueno, Lukic, Jean-Jacques, like Lukic sitting behind Bueno and Jean-Jacques with, a front three of, Baribo, Uhre, Sullivan, and see what kind of chaos that could be. But
It would be pretty fun.
because I like Bueno a lot. I actually have really liked Bueno this season, but I don't know where he fits into this team.
I mean, that would actually be something that would be really cool to try out in this friendly, since you don't need to do anything, and like it's hard to find a meaningless game to actually try new things in during this point of the season. So would be good to look at some stuff like that from the friendly, but like they also just haven't shown any want to experiment with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could also see could you put Bueno in Jean-Jacques' spot and put Jean-Jacques where like Vassila plays, and kind of get him more up the field. There's been a couple games this season where he's ended up in kind of one of those floating 10 roles with,
Do you want to suggest that he shoots more?
yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
I think I want that.
It's just tough with him because, like, I mean, you've obviously seen the good of when he shoots, and like really it feels like he's at his best when he dribbles into the box and then crashes and causes chaos. But like the Colorado game was obviously the worst of when he shoots. But like having both him and Lukic from deep does just open up so much for for everyone else that I'm a little worried about like pushing him out, even if Bueno brings some of the same things from midfield.
Yeah, it's not a thing that you want to try against a Cincy or Nashville or something like that. But in like a friendly against Frankfurt, it could be interesting to see like what would happen if you push him further up the field and he is able to like get in the box more often. Because I'm with you. He's not the best shooter in the world, but I think like he does cause chaos when he gets there, and he has been able to find some feet, in the box off of passes and different things like that. I felt I felt bad for Jean-Jacques at one point in the broadcast because Higginbotham or somebody called him out about some play, and then they realized like 30 seconds later that it was Macania who had made a run into the box and like had the bad end of the play, and it was like, oh wait,
Like,
that
whoops.
wasn't John, that was Macania.
Jeez, yeah,
You'd be forgiven
it's
for
like,
thinking, I guess.
sorry, feel bad. Anything else before we get out of here? Evan must have lost internet or something else.
There was am I not back in? Okay.
Yeah. No,
That's
I mean, considering we almost ended the pod once, this seems like a good spot to actually end it.
All right, well, we'll be back probably next week after the friendly, with probably a let's look back and think of some questions and talk through the season that has been so far. And then we'll look ahead to Toronto and the Red Bull games and see what we might predict. So we'll be back again next week with more Union content, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon.